Hey, everybody. Happy October. I can't believe it's October, but it is. And I hope everyone's having a great fall. We are doing a lot of traveling this month on weekends and looking at, we're definite leaf peepers, having a lot of fun with that. Uh, I finished the September socks at the end of the month on the 30th. So, but they're done. And I would really like to invite those of you watching this, if you knit socks ever, to join me in the Grocery Girls podcast Sock Bash, which is at their group page on Ravelry. It's free. And it's just a great bunch of people. You don't have to participate every month. You can participate for 1 month and then forget it, or you can participate and then skip as many months as you want. Every month there is a theme that you can follow or not. It just is the easiest thing where everybody's knitting a pair of socks in a month. And with the holidays coming up, if there's someone special you want to knit a pair of socks for, it's a perfect motivator to get that done. These are, I know I've mentioned this before, these are Frankie Gray fibers from Canada, which is also Grocery Girls. It's Jody from Grocery Girls, her yarn company. This is the fingering weight in the colorway salted caramel, lovely to knit. And the theme for September was cables. And it's fun. I do it every month myself. This is actually the second pair for September. Pair 11 for 2024. So, yeah, I'm ahead of the game for a sock a month. And so the theme for October is autumn colors. And that's it. You can use any pattern, you can use any design, make your own, whatever you want to do. The theme is autumn colors. You can even not use the theme. That's the other thing. The theme is optional. It's just for fun. So I had gone ahead and planned out my the yarns from stash that I was going to use for the year back in the summer, and finished up for this. Picked out everything. And this is what I had picked out for autumn colors for October. This is Marianne yarn from the stash of the woman in my guild who passed away. This is Dream with Smushy with Cashmere sock weight. I'll show you that. Here we go. And the colorway is this is club yarn. This is September 2013 Dream Club. So yeah, this is something. And I don't know about you, but I wasn't entirely comfortable with the idea. I mean, this is autumn colors for sure. I wasn't entirely comfortable with the idea of cashmere socks, just from the standpoint of durability, even though this does have nylon in it. So what I did is I went on Ravelry to see what people had made with this yarn. And just so you know, on Ravelry, you can not only pick by yarn, you can then look at the yarn by colorway, and then you can look at all of the projects that have been posted in that yarn in that colorway. So looking on Ravelry, there were 84 people who had knit a project with September 2013 Smushy with Cashmere yarn in this colorway. And 84 people, and 3 of them had made socks. And that to me was a signal that maybe this is a little too precious for the feet. I think it'd make a great cowl or hat, even gloves. I think it'd make lovely mittens or gloves. But perhaps not socks. Just in terms of durability, I'm concerned about that. Even with the nylon, I just think using something like this, and also, they're lay flat to dry. The yarn is lay flat to dry. It's not something that you need to wear on your feet, in my opinion. So I went instead with a more recent purchase. This is something I purchased because of the colorway. Youngest child's favorite artist is Basquiat. And so this yarn is neighborhood fiber studio sock in the color Basquiat. And I saw that it was being sold at Modern Daily Knitting, MDK. And I said, okay, birthday or Christmas socks. This is it, because Basquiat is absolutely youngest child's thing. So I got started on these on the first of the month, which was yesterday. I am knitting the pattern, and I think this is a free pattern. I'm pretty sure. Petty Harbor by Raina Curtis. Petty Harbor, very simple. It is a knit 3 purl 1 rib with a purl bump going down the knit 3. So you knit one round, you do knit 3 purl 1 for one round, knit another round, and then you do knit 1 purl 1, so that you get a little purl bump polka dot going up the center of that knit 3 stripe. And I'm not sure it's showing up that well on the variegated yarn, but I like it. It's a texture, and I think it's fine. It also, because of, every row is just a little tiny bit different, you have to keep track of it. I find, as you can see, it's going pretty quickly. And this yarn feels lovely. It's sturdy. Although it has no nylon in it. It's 100% wool, but it's superwash. So anyway, I'm happy with it, and because it's Basquiat, it's absolutely appropriate for, I will tell you, the reason that I'm knitting so many socks for youngest child is youngest child comes home, sees the basket of socks I've finished, and says, I'll take those. And then youngest child's roommate also has been a recipient of socks. And I have photographic proof that roommate is wearing my socks around the apartment. So when I see that someone is appreciating what I make, that encourages me. So can't help it. All right. There's so much going on, and I wanted to say that this Grocery Girls, I sound like a Grocery Girls groupie, and right now I kind of am. But going on that cruise with them was so inspiring that it sort of led to a little bit of craziness in my life in terms of pulling out yarn from my stash and pulling out projects and looking at projects for next year when we're going to do the Year of the UFOs. I mean, I really sort of went nuts in my yarn room. And yes, I have a yarn room, just pulling stuff out. And all of a sudden, it looks like an explosion. And I've slowly been putting things away again. But it sort of got out of hand there for a few days of just, why did I do this? Why did I pull everything out? And the reason I pulled everything out was I was inspired. And that's okay. Being inspired is good. It just sometimes leads to a mess, and that's certainly okay. But I've got a lot going on in terms of my knitting time between now and the holidays. I have been asked by the Stitch and Go group at church if I would work out some sort of solution. There's a hospital in town that has actually given Stitch and Go, our group, an award for all of the work that we do providing hats and blankets to babies in the hospital. And we were given an award, and then one of the people in the foundation for the hospital or something was talking with one of our members about doing a project where they want to photograph some of the babies who graduated from the neonatal intensive care unit. Not babies in NICU, but babies that are now fine because they survived NICU and all the care that hospital gave them. And they're going to do a fun thing with the babies and how fun the babies are and beautiful babies, etc. And what they wanted some headphones made out of yarn for the babies to wear for this photo shoot that they're going to do of cute babies. And the people in Stitch and Go thought of me. Thank you. Um, and the idea that was sent to me was a headband, plastic headband with crocheted around it somehow, or knit around it, and then little circle, kind of Princess Leia kind of headphones around, ear pieces around the ears. And the more I thought about it, you're talking about former NICU babies, and you're also talking about trying to photograph infants. And it just occurred to me that maybe the easiest thing to do was to attach this headphone crocheted thing to a hat. And I found this is at Little Red Window. I found this on Ravelry, but littleredwindow.com has made this, which, is a knit hat with little panels on the side. And then they have actually knit a circle, which is like the crown of a hat with decreases, and then flattened that out and done garter stitch for the, and it looks like, I think this is actually braided, but I would do I-cord there. But anyway, this was an idea, and isn't that a cute baby wearing little headphones? Okay. But I don't have time really to be knitting. They want 5, and I don't have time to knit 5 hats and then do that. So I ordered cotton newborn hats, and they'll be here tomorrow. And I'm just going to crochet the appliques for that. And I may make the headband a little loose, so they can slide it around depending on the size of the baby's head and whether the baby's awake or asleep and so forth. And try to give the photographer as much flexibility as possible, and also also the comfort and the safety of the baby in terms of not having a headband that could poke them. And you can pop a hat on a kid and take a picture as quickly as you can, and there it is. So and I think I'll decide once I've got this on the hat whether we need an I-cord here. There's so many cordless headphones in the world these days. And finally, and I know I'm being short today because there's just so much going on in my house and in the world and everywhere. I've got postcards to voters to do. I bought this pattern today because my 2 younger kids really like bucket hats, and I had made these frog bucket hats for them that they really loved. And this is a new pattern by Madeline Tosh called the Bier, B-I-E-R bucket hat. And it's in worsted weight yarn. It's knit flat in garter stitch on size 5 needles. So, and worsted is, I've got plenty of worsted wool in my stash. Middle child is going to want it in acrylic or cotton because she doesn't wear wool. But in any event, this Madeline Tosh yarn is nice. I just bought the pattern. I didn't buy any yarn for it because, good Lord, I've got enough yarn. But I think that it meets the need for speed at this point. And yeah, it's knit flat, and then you seam up the back. And the pattern calls for 10 stitch markers to put up here for these decreases. I'm going to wait and see whether I really need to put markers in there, because I'd really like to just know where the decreases are and go with it. But we'll see. We'll see if I have them if I need them. But I'm really going to try to speed along with a couple of hats for Christmas for the younger kids, on the college kids for that. And finally, I wanted to share something that came across my email. This is from a guy named Joey Cofone. I hope I'm saying his name right. Cofone. Might be Cofone. He is a guy who has a company called Baron Fig, and you may be familiar with that. They make high quality, but also kind of pricey for my taste, but very high quality pens and journals. And they have a really nice website, and a lot of sort of inspirational content to the website, and and Joey Cofone has a blog and so forth. So it's not just, go buy these expensive pens, although they're very nice. But he's got inspirational content as well at Baron Fig. And today he had something in his email newsletter about a word called satisficing. Not satisfying, satisficing, which is defined as a decision-making strategy in which a person chooses an option that is good enough rather than the best possible one. Coined by economist Herbert Simon, the term combines satisfy with suffice. So it's satisficing. Instead of seeking the optimal solution, satisficing settles for an option that meets the basic criteria or needs. The approach This approach is practical when time, resources, or information are limited, and it helps avoid the endless pursuit of perfection, which can be exhausting and inefficient. And I definitely said, Eureka, I want to share this on the knitting podcast today because here we go. I mean, this is the thing. I'm not going to knit 5 baby hats, and I'm going to purchase little cotton hats, a set of them. They come in a set of 6, and I'm going to put crocheted little headphones on them and meet the need of the hospital foundation to photograph, because nobody's going to be looking at the headphones. They're going to see a cute little baby, and still meet the need and donate and contribute and serve, all of that. And I think we need to satisfy ourselves a lot when it comes to housework, when it comes to all of the things that we think we should do when time is limited, when energy is limited, and we have to use our resources to do what is best. And sometimes it's go out and buy something or donate some money or knit a garter hat. you know I will tell you, my kids are going to wear these hats 12 times more than they would a sweater that I made them. And I know that for a fact because I made them sweaters that they don't wear. So, and that was my process. It was good for me to do that, but I've learned that from the standpoint of wearing and sharing with their friends and putting on social media, crazy hats are appreciated 10 times more than something that I would put all of my heart and effort into. So it is okay to satisfice, especially at the holidays when you've got lots of things to do, to make something simple, simplify it, lower your standards. There are 2 pieces of parenting advice that I got when I had my first child that I have never forgotten. One was from my first husband's grown stepson, who told me, just make them the center of your life because they grow too fast and then they're gone. And you have them for such a short time, just make them the center of your life. And that stuck with me forever. And the second one was from my Aunt Mary, who helped me so much when I was going through having kids, giving birth to babies, and beyond. And she said, lower your standards. That was her parenting advice. You just need to lower your standards in terms of housekeeping, in terms of wardrobe, in terms of, beauty supplies, in terms of all of the things that you think you need to do. You've got 3 kids under 5 and 2 in diapers. You got to lower your standards. So, great advice. And I think this satisficing, where you're looking for what is possible and not beating yourself up. And I'm talking to myself now, not beating myself up and, getting something done that means something to lots of people. It makes a difference. So I'm hoping that I can satisfy the audience for this podcast with what I'm doing. And we'll see you next time. I appreciate your listening. Bye-bye.